just tell him. Now is my time. Now is my time.
Sparkle smash, big time job. Oh my goodness! And Zach Garner is gonna get the racing win.
Now is right. Now is the time, and we here to fight. I came here to ride or to die, to be right on the top of this mountain.
We are back in America's heartland, just beyond the Arch in St. Louis, at the Dome at America Center for Round 6 with Stadium Championship Series West. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Monster Jam Primetime. I'm Scott Jordan alongside Adam Entiknav. Last round, we talked about the contenders that dethroned Ryan Anderson as series champ, and they all stepped up winning a competition. Let's start with Todd LeDuc. Once again, comes up big. Finally, Adam wins the overall event championship.
Yeah, you know, Todd LeDuc is in the zone right now, and I really think that has to do with how he started out his season so much differently. In the past, he struggled at the beginning, and this season, he came out firing on all cylinders. Todd LeDuc is a past series champion. He knows how to get it done. Little older, little wiser.
Bryce Kenny once again tops the podium in freestyle, winning his second. He's averaged 2 wins per series for the last few years. He's already on pace to shatter that, Adam, and now he leads the series. A lot of that has to do with this freestyle we're seeing out of Bryce.
Yeah, and those freestyles are coming because he is driving so aggressively. It's something that we love to see, but as a driver, we know what can happen. That's truck breakages. You have to be careful, pick your poison, make sure you're nailing those moments, and make sure your crew chief, Matt Del Santer, is on point.
Tristan England finally made it out of round 1 at JCB Racing, taking it all the way to the win. Tristan, obviously a real racing threat to anybody. He's a former world champion, but does that win have an asterisk because of Ryan Anderson's truck issues?
I mean, it does a little bit. You know, Ryan Anderson, we know, is one of the best racers, but Tristan England, if he can get some momentum like he did, and he can just take that and put it in his mental bank, man, Tristan England can be lethal. Let's see what happens tonight.
Everybody's still trying to keep Ryan Anderson from another series win, and he is now looking up in the series points, which is a rare spot for him. So let's hear from the 4-time World Finals champion as we join Leslie Mears in this Northern Tool and Equipment Pit Report.
Pretty frustrating event for Ryan Anderson, and it seems like you had the electrical gremlins, but then we go back to looking at your freestyle runs and you haven't made time yet. How frustrating is it when things are out of your control and you have things happen like that where your runs are stopped short?
Yeah, so honestly, the freestyle thing, I think that's me. My mental state of trying to get comfortable with this truck. I got a new setup. The axle's narrower, so the truck doesn't handle the same. And I think I got to just let myself go. I got to let it happen. I don't need to think about it as much. That's the thing that's bugging me the most. You know, I love freestyle. That's my main thing. That's what I'm here to do. So once I can get that freestyle going on, then I'm good. Racing, I got a handle on. This thing races really good. It steers very well. So I feel more comfortable in racing than I ever have, to be honest. But that freestyle thing, that's a big monkey on my back I want to get off. And St. Louis, of all places, has always given me a lot of good luck. Maybe they owed me one for not coming back for 5 years. They got me yesterday. But tonight, I want to make sure to give them everything they paid for.
He's going to need some good luck tonight against this lineup. Here's who he's competing against on Stadium Series West. Adam Zach Garner trying to find his way on this series, but he's had a strong showing last round.
Yeah, 2 top 4 finishes for Zach Garner. We know how good he is. We've seen it in the past. He just needs to ride that little wave of momentum.
Bagley Rulos, Todd LeDuc, Bryce Kenny, Cole Venard rounding out the field here at the Dome at America Center. Now we're going to catch you up with the current season points standings entering tonight's action. Take a look at the top of the leaderboard. Bryce Kenny, Monster with a 3-point lead over Son of a Digger. Megalodon in 3rd, JCB Digatron in 4th. And Gravedigger currently rounding out the top 5. Black Pearl still within striking distance of the lead. Drivers compete tonight in 3 competitions. JCB Racing, the Skills Challenge, and Freestyle. Points awarded based on finish. 12 goes to the winner. And the driver with the most points is crowned the overall event champion. It's time for track talk. Last round, this track would be very tacky. Drivers sliding all over the place. What's a good strategy tonight to avoid that and be successful on a tacky dirt?
Well, it's not going to be as tacky here tonight because this is night 2. The water will evaporate a little bit, but one of the big things is you have to either decide: are you going to drive very aggressive and put that thing in deep, or are you going to slow down and follow those ruts?
Well, they're going to have to prove their worth on this track here, on this tacky dirt, right out the gate. JCB Racing is competition number 1. Here's your bracket: Jester, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, Kraken, JCB Digatron, Excalibur, Monster Mutt, Sparkle Smash, and then Son of a Digger, Wildside, Black Pearl, Grave Digger get the first round buys. Who do you like in this round?
I really like JCB and Excalibur. I want to see if Tristan England can carry that momentum and start something fresh.
We're going to go down to the track for the first competition of the night. El Toro Loco sliding into the red lane. Jester into that gray lane. It's Jamie Gardner versus Matt Pagliarulo. For the driver's perspective, let's check in with Leslie Mears.
The talk in the pits is all about how this track is deceiving. They say you can go around one corner and it's very, very slick. So you prepare like that for the next one, and then you get there and it's sticky and it hikes you up. So drivers are going to be watching every round to try to get a good read on it.
We saw Toro Loco with some issues over there by the red race ramp. Jester not having any problems on the far side of the track. Matt Pagliarulo gets the win. Here's the original Super Glue to the action replay.
You're going to see Jamie Garner here come around, grab this pod, but one of the big things I'm looking at is Jester having smoke coming out of the back of his truck.
Two-time World Finals champion Tom the Duke and Megalodon lining up against former Rookie of the Year Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken, or what's left of Kraken, I should say. Off the line, it is Megalodon up over the pod and down into the corner, and Tom the Duke with a pinpoint perfect turn.
Kraken just hit the brakes too hard coming into that first turn and then got on the throttle, spun out a little bit. But we'll see if this impedes Megalodon.
Megalodon can't do much about it. It's not going to matter. He won't get lane choice next round anyway. 19.838 for Tom the Duke as we check out the replay on Kraken.
Coming into this first corner, look at how hard he hits the brakes, and then he's going to go get on the gas. And it just looks like the truck slides out. Next
up in round one, Mike Pagliarulo Excalibur up against last round's racing winner Tristan England, JCB Digatron. And nice air off the pod there, off that ramp for Tristan England. That's going to get him out in front. But look at Mike Pagliarulo, takes a nice corner.
Well, I'll definitely tell you on that red side, that first turn is very tacky, right where Tristan's at right now. Gotta watch that, but big win for JCB Digatron.
JCB Digatron dominant in round one, 19.371. Take a look at the Super Glue replay.
You can see here, he comes off this first race ramp. He definitely doesn't get the air that JCB Digatron does. He hits the rear steer like he's supposed to, but the truck just hikes up a little bit on that tacky dirt. The BKT tires are doing what they're supposed to.
Our final race features Caleb Blood in Sparkle Smash. He's going to line up against Bryce Kenny in Monster Mud. He's in the gray lane, Kayla in the red lane, and here we go, one spot left. In round two, Bryce takes the air. Kayla stays low.
It seems like that first turn. Oh, Caleb Blood!
To the turning pod goes Caleb Blood. Bryce Kenny not going to get a time. He's going to advance. Check out the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Okay, so I think Kayla thinks, oh, it just hikes up on her. That's that red side, very tacky.
Something to watch out for as we move on to round two. We're going to take a look at the brackets. Son of a Digger meets Jester. Wildside against Megalodon, Black Pearl, JCB Digatron, Grave Digger, and Monster Mud. Fastest time in round one, Tristan England, 19.371. Coming up, JCB Racing continues as Wildside and Megalodon kick off round two. That's next on Monster Jam Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by JCB, the official heavy equipment partner of Monster Jam. Welcome back to the Dome at America's Center for round two of JCB Racing. And up first, Zach Gardner, Wildside, Todd the Duke, Megalodon. Zach struggled a little bit in racing. With more on this, we go to Leslie.
I know a lot of people wonder what's going on in those headsets of those drivers as they're sitting in the seat. And for Zach Gardner, he said he's completely relaxed in the truck. He actually talks to Venard about what the racetrack looks like. They don't keep it serious. They keep it very, very light and fun so everyone can stay relaxed.
It looks like he's relaxed right here against Megalodon. Zach Gardner coming in hot across the gray race ramp. What a race between Todd the Duke and Zach Gardner. Check out the Super Glue replay.
Looks like Zach Gardner pulls it off, and he's driving very aggressively, exactly what he needs to do.
19.310, great time. Next out, Tristan England, JCB Digatron going up against Cole Venard in the Black Pearl. Two heavyweights here in racing. Cole 7-3 on the season. And Tristan in the opposite lane, that red lane. We'll see how he does here. JCB Digatron goes around deep in the corner. Black Pearl stays tight, clips the pod.
JCB Digatron doing exactly what he's supposed to, getting outside on that cushion.
Clipping the pod again. Cole Venard clips both pods on both sides of the track. We see that red lane come into play again, and Tristan England moves on, 19.408.
Well, you see Black Pearl right here. Cole Venard clip the side of that pod as he comes into the first corner. He's going to get a little disruption from that and then grabs the pod there on that red side.
Next up, Bryce Kenny, Monster Mud, advancing from round one. He's going to go up against Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. Adam has 2 career wins on this track. And here we go, 2 longtime friends, former rivals, now reigniting that rivalry on this series. Into the far corner we go. Adam is up into a bicycle, and Bryce Kenny has the lead. And here's where lane choice does come into play. Adam, though, smartly moves off the track to let Bryce finish.
Yeah, definitely a veteran move from Adam, letting him getting that pass. But you can see he pushes out wide here, doesn't hit the throttle hard enough to keep the truck loose, backs out of it, does what he's supposed to, but unfortunate for Gravedigger.
Ryan Anderson, son of a digger, Jester, Matt Pagliarulo. Matt having some issues with a fan not working in Jester. We'll see if that plays any part in this race. Jester with a great jump off the line, but when you're up against Ryan Anderson, you have to be absolutely perfect. And here goes son of a digger onto that red corner.
Ryan Anderson driving very aggressively, but then he stays tight, slows it down. He's going to grab the pod here.
The pod still had a big enough lead to get the win. We saw Jester clip the red side as well. Ryan Anderson finishes it off. Take a look at the replay.
Here's Jester coming off the pod here. He gets a little bit of a bounce, but nothing too bad, and then grabs the pod in the last turn. Can't pull it off.
We will check out the semifinal bracket for JCB Racing. Son of a digger will meet Wildside. JCB Digatron meets Monster Mud. Zach Gardner, fastest time of the night, last round, 19.310. Coming up, more bad, fast racing in the semifinals when the fastest 4 square up next on Monster Jam Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by the Utah Sports Commission. Utah, the state of sports. Salt Lake City, Utah is the home of Monster Jam World Finals 24, but tonight's home of Monster Jam Primetime, the Dome at America's Centers. We kick back to the JCB Racing semifinals. Tristan England against Bryce Kenny. With more on how Bryce is feeling about this track and about this race, let's check back in with our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
I checked in with Matt Del Santer on how Bryce is doing since he hasn't got to really make 2 hard passes here in racing yet. He said Bryce has the turns figured out, but he's really worried because he hasn't got to power through anything, and that's where he's going to need it to get the edge to win.
He is trailing right now. Final push to the finish line. JCB Digatron gets the win. Here's the original Super Glue glued to the action replay.
Wow, both of those passes were so quick. It looks like Tristan England gets it by just a BKT tire.
That brings us to Zach Gardner, Wildside, the reigning World Finals Racing champion, against Ryan Anderson and son of a digger. Ryan 9-0 on the season, 2 racing wins, 23-5 in his career in St. Louis. Nice clean pass there for Ryan Anderson. Zach Gardner with a slight disadvantage right now at the halfway point.
Zach Gardner rides that cushion on both corners. Ryan Anderson stays tight.
Final push across the finish line. Wildside goes too high, and son of a digger gets the win. Take a look at the Super Glue replay.
You can see right here, he comes into the first corner and he's going to push just a little bit wide, trying to ride that cushion. Ryan Anderson's strategy is to ride the last corner tight, and that's where he gets the advantage.
Ryan Anderson heading to the JCB Racing Finals. He will square off against Tristan England, so son of a digger versus JCB Digatron with the fastest time of the night last round, 19.181. Ryan Anderson does get lane choice. He is keeping Tristan England over in that gray lane. Ryan is going to stay in the red lane. Smart move there for Ryan Anderson. So here we go, Ryan Anderson, Tristan England doing battle for the racing championship.
Okay, Ryan Anderson, he's going to push just a little bit wide, but watch how Ryan stays nice and tight in this last corner and makes up some time.
Absolutely hard to tell this race. They are even. Final corner here. Tristan England may have a lead, but Ryan Anderson on the push across the race ramp gets it done. Son of a digger stays undefeated and gets the win. Take a look at the replay.
Yeah, exactly like how I expected. Ryan Anderson stays tight in that last corner. JCB Digatron pushes just a little too wide and gives up the advantage.
Go to Leslie and our winner.
Right, when you left the start, it looked like you soared really high and it put you behind on the first lap. How were you able to make up that extra time and win?
I knew in my mind I was not letting Tristan get in that win. I handed it to him on a platter last night. I was not letting it happen again this time. So I was going as hard as I could when I left the line. Gave me more air than I needed, but it looked cool for the fans, and I still smoked him to the finish line.
Okay, so you stayed perfect out here, and that's what it is. How are the electrical issues with the truck? Because I know that plagued you yesterday.
Electrical issues are good. We're all right. Everything's fine. But now we have a transmission issue. It's a brand new transmission, but something's either wrong with the adjustment or we maybe have an internal issue with that transmission. So I told Bryce, let's slap a new one in it, get it over with, because I want to make sure I'm ready for skills and most of all, freestyle.
Strong words there from Ryan Anderson saying he handed Tristan England the racing win, but smoked him this round. Ryan's got the lead with 12, JCB Digatron second, Wildside third, Monster Mud fourth, and Megalodon fifth. Next up in St. Louis was the skills challenge. Drivers could attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels. They could even do a donut. Each driver was scored by fans in attendance on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points once again were on the line. Let's take a look back at our top 5 competitors in the Monster Jam Skills Challenge. Coming in 5th, Zach Garner Wildside with a sidewall bicycle.
It's a little bicycle, then a nose wheelie combination.
Bryce Kenny Monster Mutt gets the container up and over, gets a nose wheelie right here.
Yeah, backs it up on the container, gets a nose wheelie out of it. He's gonna walk this dog all the way out to the edge of the track. See if he sets it down nice and soft.
Coming in 3rd, Mike Pagliarulo Excalibur going for a nose wheelie right off the ramp.
So when you're watching this, really what I'm looking for on the score is how much control, Excalibur has here in this situation. Every movement is nice and slow and precise. Nothing's jerky at all. He's doing a great job. See if he can get this thing into a moonwalk after this nose wheelie for a nice combination move. Walk it back up onto that pod.
Making full use of the 20 seconds on that clock, flips it back up right into a wheelie. And finally gets it down. Coming in 2nd, Adam Anderson goes for a bicycle here in Gravedigger.
Oh man, this is a hard situation. He's gonna go from one side to the other, and he pulls it off.
And taking the win, Tristan England, JCB Digatron putting on an absolute clinic here in St. Louis.
Yeah, same thing we've seen with Excalibur. He's gonna walk this thing out, but the control that Tristan England has is next to none. He's gonna walk it back up this freestyle step-up ramp and hopefully get a little combination move. Stops the truck here. Oh, he's gonna throw it forward. Let's see if he can get that extra combination where he wheelies down the step-up. There it is, nice.
Oh, good, greases the back wheels down the ramp. He's gonna add 12 points to his total. He is now in front with 23. Monster Mud second, Wildside there as well. Gravedigger and Son of a Digger in 4th place, and then a 3-way tie, 9 points off the lead. Excalibur, Black Pearl, and Megalodon. Trista gets his 2nd skills win of the season. Let's hear from our winner.
The way you have been able to put combinations together is just insane, and you make it look so easy. Like the way that you downside of that ramp, I mean, that was just picture perfect and slick.
I knew exactly where to stick those BKT tires to get exactly that. I have been studying a lot of film, but it's also studying myself. I can't just watch everybody else and find out the do's or the don'ts, because there's a lot of don'ts. We're coming out here, this St. Louis dirt, I absolutely love it. This is where I found my groove in racing last season. I think I just found my groove right here again in St. Louis. Thank you, guys.
JCB Digatron is now on top, but will Tristan England dig his way to the win? Find out when Freestyle begins next on Primetime. Monster Jam is proud to partner with and support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Visit monsterjam.com/St. Jude to learn how you can join us in the fight against childhood cancer. We are back in downtown St. Louis at the Dome at America Center with Stadium Championship Series West. Welcome back to Monster Jam Primetime. Tristan England now has a stranglehold on the event lead after making the racing finals and winning skills. Adam, it appears that Tristan has once again found rhythm here in St. Louis. That could be a problem for the rest of the series.
Yes, that could be a very big problem. And he said in that interview that this is where he found his momentum last year. If Tristan England finds his stride, we know he can win. He's done it before. He's got the talent. Man, look out.
Earlier, we talked briefly about Zach Gardner, who has turned in another solid night with 2 top 3 finishes. That marks 4 competitions in a row, Adam, where he's finished in the top 5. Can the stadium growing pains officially be put behind Zach Gardner and Wildside moving forward?
I mean, let's put it this way. He's always going to have a few growing pains, especially in his rookie season, but I think he has gotten over the big hurdle of them for sure. Zach Gardner is gaining momentum, gaining confidence in himself, and that's all that kid needs. He's got so much talent. I can't wait to see what unfolds.
Here are the current BKT point standings after 2. Tristan Engel with the lead. Monster Mutt Wildside 5 off the pace. Gravedigger Son of a Digger 7 points off the pace. And Excalibur, Black Pearl, and Megalodon 9 points behind the lead. Let's take a look at tonight's freestyle order. Monster Mutt's going to close it down after winning last round. Ryan Anderson finished 9th here, has yet to win a freestyle competition this season, which is shocking, and he is right there in the middle of this order tonight.
Yeah, wow, that's an insane stat. Ryan Anderson in the perfect spot.
We're going to start freestyle right now at Osteen, Florida. Nick Pagliarulo in Kraken. Earlier, Nick received a pep talk from a superstar with an update. Let's hear from Leslie.
After practice, Ryan Anderson actually took Nick Pagliarulo aside and had a little chat with him. He said, hey man, I see you out there and it looks like you're just overdriving it. I want you to drive enough that I know you've got the skill to conquer this course, but I really think that you're just thinking about it too much. And after freestyle yesterday, even though they had to replace the motor, when he came out, he said he really kept that in mind when he started his run. He was more relaxed than he'd ever been. And even though they had to replace the motor again, he came out with a smile and he said he had fun for the first time all year. So he's taking that energy and putting it into his freestyle here today.
Seemingly the life of an independent driver. You race, you repeat, you rinse off, you fix, you race again. There's your criteria: 30 seconds to qualify, failure to complete 1 minute, and a point will be deducted. But Adam, you were a privateer for so many years in Supercross. It's not easy when you have to fix your own equipment and keep the truck and the bike in performance shape.
No, it is definitely one of the hardest parts, as we see a little bit of smoke coming out of Kraken, unfortunately. But, you know, when you're just a driver and you don't have to work on the truck or do anything or order parts, wow, a lot of smoke coming out. You know, you can only focus on driving. For Nick, he has to focus on everything else, and that's definitely difficult. As we check out this super glued to the action replay, a nice air here from Nick Pagliarulo, coming up a little bit short with a big bounce, but unfortunately, this run is cut short.
Yeah, Nick Pagliarulo, the mechanical issues continue for Kraken in St. Louis. Up next, his brother, 2024 Monster Jam Co-Rookie of the Year, Mike Pagliarulo in Excalibur. Ironically enough, we saw Mike here last year driving Kraken, so now he gets his own truck, Excalibur, here at the Dome at America Center.
I love the way that he comes out and he's just so aggressive on the throttle. You know, you can hear the difference in the truck, how he comes out, and he just kind of has caution to the wind, and the fans seem to react very well to it.
Best freestyle finish in St. Louis, 8th last round. We see the air starting to build here from Mike Pagliarulo, picking up the pace here.
Yeah, it's funny to me because you think about Mike and you think about Nick, and there's definitely different driving styles. It seems like Mike's a little bit more aggressive, but that could be because he's a little fresher. You know, he's excited to drive the truck. He's got his own truck now, and he's not afraid to fix it on the weekend.
Not at all. You know, Matt Pagliarulo is going to put him to the test and put him to work. You break it, you fix it, is the mantra there down in Osteen, Florida. Here we see Excalibur, that front hood just hanging on right now. And Mike is going to try to put that to the test. We see the Morgan backflip ramp. Excalibur going to avoid it. Hits the step up, comes right off onto the pod.
Yeah, it looks like he's lost just a little bit of momentum. I'm wondering if he's trying to figure out, you know, what he should do with the hood, if he should try to break it off or do something to get that thing off. Let's see what happens.
Well, he's going from one side of the track to the other. Mike Pagliarulo now means business here in Excalibur. Morgan backflip. Excalibur goes up. Mike gets a push and whips the truck around. There goes the front hood shedding off the chassis. It's on the dirt, and Mike Pagliarulo is not done yet. Oh, now he's done. All right.
Wow.
Well, I spoke too soon. Just slingshotted right into the ramp. Take a look at the original Super Glue to the action replay.
Here he goes. He hits the backflip. Great execution. Lands a little heavy on the right side, but nothing too crazy. Then he's going to hit reverse here I think he didn't expect to hit that little pod on the left where the truck got upset, lands on the hood.
Well, Mike Pagliarulo has Excalibur out in front. We got a long way to go at the Dome. Freestyle continues next on Primetime. Welcome back to round 6 of Monster Jam Primetime. Today's festivities kicked off early at the Dome with the most family fun pit party in motorsports. Fans arrived early by the thousands to meet their favorite drivers and take pictures with the trucks. If you want to attend the pit party at your next event, get your tickets at monsterjam.com. During the break, Freestyle continued with El Toro Loco, but JB Gardner gets shut off, leaving a lot of time on the clock. And then Jester came out, rolls it right here with over a minute left, gets a 5.316. That brings us to our next competitor out of Murdo, South Dakota. This is Cole Venard in Black Pearl. Right out the gate, comes on the backside of the race ramp, transfers it right onto the jump. This is the 11th start for Cole Venard at the Dome at America's Center. He has never won a freestyle competition here. He's finished 3rd twice. That's the highest he's placed in 11 starts.
Well, that could change here tonight. He definitely has a little bit of different momentum, lands on the back of that pod very nicely. Cole Venard, it's all about the start in these Monster Jam freestyles. Can you carry the momentum? A nice big jump onto the pod.
Goes diagonally across the track, right up over that berm. Starting to heat up here is Cole Venard. He is a driver that is not afraid to take risks at any point in time.
Oh, there we go.
And he continues on, somehow landed that with the wheels down, clipping the pod right on the lip of that pod. Still manages to make the save, loses no momentum, and Cole Venard comes back again.
Yeah, beautiful execution of a sky wheel. He lands a little front end high, and it works out perfectly where he can get the front tires over the pod. Cole Venard is on here tonight.
Threads the needle again, goes right up over the ramp, back onto the pod, clipping that ramp as well on the end. We see a great look at the 8-pack. Have not seen that come into play yet.
He just threaded the needle so close by missing that 8-pack. Cole Venard is really just putting it to him.
A lot of room out there for a donut. Why not?
Slinging a little bit of dirt off that BKT.
Gonna sling a little more right here. He's going for the Morgan backflip ramp. Black Pearl goes up. Brake check, bounces the landing. Backs up, continuing. He has his sights set on Excalibur's lead. And right here,
there we
biggest
go.
air of the night so far, Cole Venard. Trying to win that Extreme Air Award, lighting up the St. Louis Dome here.
Oh, another big air, man. It just seems like sometimes in these freestyles, certain drivers, nothing can go wrong. Cole Venard is on.
And the crowd absolutely erupting. What a run for Cole Venard. Take a look at the Super Glue replay.
Here he comes into the backflip container. Great rotation. Gets a little brake check like you talked about. Lands a little bit on the front, but gets a great bounce. And then a huge air off the freestyle step-up ramp. Cole Venard onto the pod. Wow, what a run he has had. Cole Venard is here.
And Cole Venard takes the freestyle lead, 9.585. That is going to be a tough act to follow, but why not give it to the 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson in Gravedigger. Adam has had an interesting return to the track in this new truck. For more on Adam's settings, we check back in with Leslie.
Guys, Adam Anderson is still trying to figure out the shocks on this brand new truck, and he told me it could take almost up to a year to do that. He said they're kind of going soft and then stiffer, and he said also you have to take into consideration reading these tracks, how you need to adjust them for racing based on the dirt in the different cities. And he's not going to be able to use any of the knowledge that he has from his prior truck because they are just so different. So he says, I'm just going race by race, freestyle by freestyle, making small adjustments in either direction to try to slowly work into it so it's not too extreme.
All right, thank you, Liz. That's really all you can do is Adam Anderson now go from one side of the track to another. He has a freestyle win here all the way back in 2013 driving Gravedigger the Legend. So it's been over 10 years since he has tasted freestyle victory.
There we go.
But jumps like that could lead to a big win here.
He definitely took a note out of Cole Venard's book by getting that air using the same exact ramp. Perfect execution by Adam Anderson and back-to-back big airs.
Comes back again, transferring right onto the pod, going a diagonal crisscross applesauce here for Adam Anderson and Gravedigger. Never thought I'd say that in Monster Jam. More big air for Gravedigger.
Great balance. It definitely looks like the shocks are working a little bit better. Either the shocks are working better or Adam Anderson is very, very aware of how the truck is landing. If so, he's doing a fantastic job right now.
Being told by his crew chief how much time is left on the clock. He is lining up here, going to shoot the gap again. Gets a little floater jump back onto the pod. And now Adam Anderson going right for the 8-pack. And he swings Gravedigger around, gets a little sideways, still sticks the landing. Well, we get to see the 8-pack for the first time tonight, and Adam Anderson is going for a freestyle win.
Still continuing on. Let's see what he can do with these last few seconds.
Comes right back down. This is that ragged edge Gravedigger style that we talk about so much to finish the run, and that is going to do it. Take a look at the original super glue glued to the action replay.
Here's the 8-pack backflip. Great rotation. He knew it was going to be good here tonight. Overall, this whole entire freestyle was amazing.
Halfway through, Black Pearl has the lead, but more freestyles next on Primetime. Monster Jam is brought to you by Spin Master. Crush it, crash it, jam it. Welcome back to Monster Jam Primetime in St. Louis at the Dome. During the break, freestyle continued, but the good run of battle continued for Ryan Anderson. He rolls, getting a 6.415. And then Caleb Blood, a trail of confetti, leaves 91 seconds on the clock. Needed one more trick to qualify, so no score for Sparkle Smash. Up next, the 2023 World Finals Racing Champion Tristan England and JCB Digatron. He is the current overall event leader, so he has a shot at the event championship right here. He is without a freestyle win this season. We've been talking about that momentum shift for Tristan in St. Louis last year, trying to get it done again. But for more on this, we go to Leslie Mears.
I'm going to talk to Tristan England about freestyle, and I mentioned to him that he's been one of the most consistent drivers out here. He said he still doesn't feel like he's really satisfied with what he's been able to do on the track, and he said he thinks he's really too focused on a couple new moves that he's trying to really work hard to incorporate into his freestyle, that he's just not letting it flow like he should. So he said he's going to keep those two moves in the back of his mind and then just kind of feel the track out and let it come to him rather than try to force it.
Thank you, Leslie. What do you think about that strategy?
You know, I think that's very, very smart of him. Sometimes when I was racing Supercross, I was so keyed in on nailing this certain jump every single lap. Well, what happens is that takes your focus off the rest of what's going on. And for Tristan England, he could be so focused on, hyper-focused on one move or those two moves that he wants to get that he's not focused on the rest of what's going on. And you have so much time to fill. Those two tricks are just moments in your freestyle. So you have to make sure that you're focused on the big picture instead of trying to execute a couple new moves.
And Tristan England going right for the Morgan & Morgan backflip ramp. JCB Digatron, big backflip on the landing right into a moonwalk. So a great catch for the veteran driver. 9.585 is the score to beat. Tristan won the overall here a year ago. And he gets right on that save with a nose wheelie as well.
Great throttle control there. He's going to feel that case tomorrow. Tristan England definitely putting on a show, but is it enough to beat Cole Venard? This is a big moment for JCB Digatron.
Event championship up for grabs right here for Tristan England to take. And now JCB Digatron comes in again off that FMX step-up ramp, clips the back two wheels, flips the truck around into a cyclone. It ran out of wheels, trying to get the focus on the BKT tires, couldn't quite get there.
Tristan England hits the backflip container. Look at this beautiful combination move. Throws it in reverse, gets the moonwalk. Wow, what a run. I can't believe he ended up with a 9.188. Tristan England coming up a little short here on the pod. Over throttles the truck. Tries to make a big save. Can't quite pull it off.
It went from two wheels to none. Zach Gardner, wild side, trailing the overall event lead by 5 points. When you talk about dirt like the dirt here in St. Louis and how it continues to just get shredded run after run, It is all about tires and traction. We saw that with Tristan England. Just the truck, too much energy, too much push, rolled over, couldn't quite get the traction. But that's what these BKTs are made for. Dirt like this, conditions like this, and a track like this.
Yeah, you know, sometimes though with those BKTs getting so much hookup, it really depends on how you drive the truck. You know, the BKTs here in this dirt are gonna be hooking up, but that sometimes can be a little bit of a disadvantage if you're not driving the truck aggressively enough, or you hit a rut or something, you know, that's on the floor that's not exactly flat. Right there, you see him riding in the cushion and those BKTs are sliding around doing exactly what they're supposed to, but those BKTs have so much tread and so much hookup, you really have to drive accordingly.
And Zach Gardner just going to pose for a second right there on top of that ramp. And now wild side running again. There is your score to beat. Black Pearl 9.585. Zach Gardner looking for a freestyle win here right up over the car stack.
Doing a little bit of cross threading there, trying to come up with something different.
And that is going to do it for wild side as we check out the super glue. Glued to the action replay.
Let's watch Zach Garner get a nice big air here onto the pod. Lands on all 4 BKTs, taking the pressure off just one side of the truck so he doesn't get any breakages. Does a great job collecting himself there.
We can check out the current freestyle leaderboard. Black Pearl with the lead, Gravedigger second, Excalibur third, Chase Vidigatron fourth, and Kraken in fifth. We're down to the final 2 in freestyle. We crown our event champion next on Monster Jam Primetime. Welcome back to St. Louis. It's Monster Jam Primetime. We have the conclusion of freestyle here at the Dome. Up next, Todd LeDuc and Megalodon with an update on the 2-time World Finals champions freestyle strategy here at the Dome. We go right back to our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Todd's had so much success in freestyle because of the strategy that he used. He said what he does is he kind of watches the runs in front of him, checks out the fan scoring, sees what the fans are really enjoying. If it's big air, he incorporates it in his run. If it's technical and skills, that's what he focuses on more. So he tailors his run to the fan scoring to make the most of it in this points chase towards the championship.
He's definitely making a statement this year. He has got 1 freestyle win on the season, but even at St. Louis, 2 freestyle wins here in his career. His average phenomenal, 9.264, Adam. That is the second best on this series. We are seeing vintage Todd LeDuc here this season.
Yeah, we definitely are, and we just keep going back to it, but it's all about how Todd started this series, his attitude, his communication with his crew chief, everything behind the scenes that is making this happen. Todd LeDuc is definitely at his best, and we love to see it. Now, as far as his strategy goes, like Leslie Mears talked about, you know, he's looking at other drivers, what they're doing, what's getting a big score. Let's check out this backflip.
Let's gonna get a big score here. Morgan backflip from Megalodon. Huge LeDuc loop. Can't hit it into reverse in time. Now he's got it into reverse, trying to beat that score from the Black Pearl to take the freestyle lead right up over that gray race lane there onto the pod. Comes up over the ramp. Now far side of the track is Todd LeDuc.
Yeah, Todd LeDuc carrying great momentum. But like I said, one of the problems with watching and seeing what a high score gets is you don't want to repeat anything in those freestyles.
Oh, he's going.
Oh, it's good. Oh, a nice bicycle.
And he gets the save onto the sidewalls. Great catch by Todd LeDuc.
Another one.
I don't know if he's got enough left in the tank here. Megalodon. Everybody's running out of wheels, Adam. We're going from 4 to 2 to 9.
We're running out of wheels.
At the super glue to the action replay.
Todd LeDuc coming into this backflip container. Great rotation, a little bit more height. I love the execution there. Lands a little bit on the front BKTs. Kind of gets a combination move there for a second, and then you can see he turns into those BKTs, tries to make a corner, gets up on the bicycle, tries to stay aggressive here by turning the truck around, grabs the dirt once again. Wow, St. Louis dirt, definitely one of the biggest competitors here tonight.
Couple of St. Louis saves there for Todd LeDuc. That brings us to our final competitor, last round's freestyle winner on this track. Out of Kernersville, North Carolina, Bryce Kenny driving Monster Mutt. 2 freestyle wins in his career in St. Louis, including the one from last round. He has the highest average on this series. Just talked about Todd LeDuc. Bryce Kenny with the best freestyle start to any season we've seen from him over the course of his career.
Nice throttle rhythm to start this freestyle out with. Looks like he has good momentum. See if he can keep it up.
Left the tail on the middle of the track, so shedding the tail, always a key to Bryce Kenny's freestyle victory. He seems to always leave it on the dirt here when he wins. Little hard slap to the left, though, now trying to cross-thread his way, just climb over from one side of the track to the other.
Here's that big jump onto the pod, nice air. Doesn't come up short, perfect execution there.
Is the 2024 Lucas Oil Extreme Air Award winner for a reason. We may see some of that here in this run as he tries to go back to back. Now starting to feel it, getting that throttle rhythm to bring harmony to his truck and get it onto this track as he's starting to feel it. And now Bryce Kenny means business in Monster Mud as he is going for the Morgan & Morgan backflip. Monster Mud comes in up the container, big time air, big time flip into a moonwalk, and Monster Mud coming after that lead for Black Pearl.
Nice big air onto the pod. You know, one of the hardest things, getting a little sideways there, grabbing the sidewalls of those BKTs on that race ramp, on that jump. One of the hard things is Bryce Kenny is making this look so easy and smooth. Sometimes it doesn't bode well with the fans because it's nothing extravagant, but man, the skill that Bryce Kenny has been delivering this season, unbelievable.
There's the extreme air right there. Wow moment for Bryce Kenny. And he's going to leave this thing into the dirt, and that is all she wrote for Monster Mud. Here's the original super glue to the action replay.
Great rotation on this backflip. He's going to get the combination move, making this look easy. Hits those back BKTs, pops it up for the moonwalk. Going to get the 1-2 shift, and then this is that huge air at the end. Look at all the air underneath that Monster Jam truck. Gets a big bounce. There's nothing he can do about it, but he has the awareness to hit the throttle here, try to make a save, and can't quite do it.
What a run, what a way to close out the night here as we take a look at our freestyle top 5. Black Pearl wins it, Gravedigger second, Excalibur third, JCB Diggatron fourth, and Monster Mutt in fifth. Cole earns his first win of the season, so we go down to the track to join Leslie in our freestyle winner.
Well, you were able to put together, top to bottom, the best 2 minutes of the night, and you've just kind of been on the verge of it, but those breakages have gotten you. What was it like tonight to fill the time and just take this victory?
It's been crazy. Like you said, all year, or the start of this year has been wild. Racing, we've been right there. Skills, we've been trying to work up and do a little better. Freestyle, we've kind of always been up and down, and we know we're okay on that, but lately I don't think I even got a win last year. I was always second, third. It was about as close as I got. So today I was watching everyone. A lot of people were crashing early, ending their times early, and I said, this is it. St. Louis has always been great to me, and I wanted to show them guys that Black Pearl is here, and we're going to try to work our way up this point series and get to the top.
Cole Venard right back in it as we check out the final BKT overall points standings. JCB Diggatron gets to win, Gravedigger second, Black Pearl third, Monster Must fourth, and Excalibur fifth. Tristan England gets 32 points. It's his first event championship of the season. Let's go back down to the track with Leslie and Tristan.
Yeah, guys, Tristan definitely hitting your stride here. We know it was 1 year ago when you picked up your first overall of the season. It happens again in St. Louis. Is it being here? Is it the dirt? Is it you finally, kind of getting your legs underneath yourself for the season? What is it?
To me, it's a lot of stress because we came in here last year. It was my first time in the Stadium Series. Tom Metz was with us, and they all love that guy. To their core. They love Tom Metz, and so when I came out here, I know he's not with us on the dirt right now on this track, but I knew I wanted to perform well and be able to brag about I win just like Tom Metz wins on the floors that he does. So I wanted to just do like an O-Day for him. We managed to redo what we did last year, but I did it with my team here. Got Dustin Lamar and Joe Wilkerson. Joe's in the back right now. I hate he's not right here with us, but he's getting everything geared up so we can go to Miami. I'm excited.
I think Tristan England has a hat for every competition that he wins.
He definitely
out there.
does.
But a coming out party here in St. Louis for him. We came into the Dome with a tie at the top of the point series. We leave the Dome with a tie, but this time it's between Bryce Kenny and now Tristan England with a series points lead.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, this series is so much fun. So many new winners. The big story coming out, Tristan England with a massive amount of momentum.
As Tristan said, this series will head to Miami. We make our way south to Texas to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio with Stadium Championship Series East. For Adam Enticknap and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you right here next time on Monster Jam Primetime.